Willkommen zurück zu einem neuen Video auf dem Reaktionskanal. Heute schaue ich mir an, was eine Formel 1 oder was generell eine Rennstrecke braucht, um bereit zu sein für die Formel 1. Das Video ist von WTF1. Guter Kanal, muss ich sagen, habe ich mir auch schon vor den ganzen Reactions angeschaut, immer mal wieder. Und ja, ansonsten schreibt was in die Kommentare, lasst ein Like und ein Abo da und ich würde sagen, wir gehen ins Video.
Why F1 can't just race at any track? There are many race circuits in the world, some incredible,
Oh, stimmt, ich habe vergessen, Untertitel anzumachen. Meine Schuld.
some terrible, and some just not fit for Formula One. If you didn't know, our glorious sport can't just rock up to any racetrack and send the cars out for our entertainment. There are standards that need to be met. When hosting an F1 race, there's a long list of rules and procedures that a circuit needs to
Ja, das ist auch so eine Sache. Also, früher, da haben die einfach so gesagt: „Ja, Wand, ein paar Strohballen stehen an der Seite, Asphalt ist ganz in Ordnung und ja, Kurven gibt's auch. Ja gut, lass die Strecke nehmen.“ Und heutzutage, wegen der Sicherheit und so weiter, ist ja nachvollziehbar, muss alle möglichen Gullydeckel müssen zugespeist werden. Wir erinnern uns an Monaco 2016, wo Button über so 'n Gullydeckel drüber gerast ist und der hat sich gelöst, oder Sainz 2023, glaube ich, war das. 23 oder 24, ich kann mich nicht mehr erinnern, in Las Vegas. Ähm, Solche Sachen, also Strecke muss gut sein, dann die ganzen Abfangzäune und Tech Pro Barriers und so weiter. Die ganzen Gegebenheiten mit, Jahreszeit, dass es irgendwie nicht zu, also Schnee glaube ich jetzt nicht, dass der fallen wird, aber dass es, wobei Wetter spielt noch mal 'ne ganz andere Rolle. Es kann sich ja auch dann ändern, aber wenn's halt zu gefährlich wird, auch mit Regen und so weiter, dann wird's verschoben beziehungsweise vielleicht abgesagt. Verschoben wurde ja das, in Australien 2025, ähm, das Quali auf jeden Fall ganz sicher vor einigen Jahren schon mal in Australien, aber wie es jetzt war, weiß ich auch nicht mehr genau. Ne, es war in Brasilien 2024, ne? Ja, glaube schon, da wurde das Quali verschoben. Ja, und ansonsten wird er gleich ja noch erklären, was noch für alles gemacht werden muss.
follow. From having the necessary resources, structures, and maintenance to making sure it's over 3.5 kilometres in length. Apart from if you're Monaco and you get a free pass for being, well, Monaco. As the FIA is responsible for many motor racing
Das wusste ich gar nicht, dass es 'ne Mindestlänge gibt. Also, das ist interessant.
series, they have categorised circuits from grades 1 to 6. Grade 1 is needed to host an F1 race. If you're a new circuit, you'll need to submit a chunky document about all your plans to your country's national sporting authority, which will hopefully approve it and pass it on to the FIA. After doing that, the FIA will charge a fee to inspect the circuit and do a project study, and if they find anything they think needs to be changed, they'll recommend it. All this needs to be done in a time frame too, so for a new Grade 1 circuit, the final inspection on a permanent track needs to be done at least 90 days before an official F1 weekend. So what is inspected? Well, firstly, the actual layout. We already know that ovals are kind of a no-go, but in terms of how you wish to organise the shape of the track, you can do as you wish. The FIA might take a look at your plan and suggest practical changes, or if they think a slight tweak could produce even better racing. Clearly they forgot to do this for such places as Abu Dhabi and Russia. However, neither F1, FOM or Liberty Media control the construction of a new circuit. The maximum permitted length for a straight section of the track is 2 kilometres for the circuit itself. There is also the recommendation that no new circuit should exceed 7 kilometres. Existing tracks on the F1 calendar, like the fan favourite Spa-Francorchamps, measure 7.004 kilometres and is one of the best on the calendar, so it's likely to be slightly flexible. It's probably more a hint that the FIA won't be approving another 25-kilometre long circuit that F1 raced on for the 1957 Pescara Grand Prix. There are also some other important rules to follow. New permanent circuits should have a track width of at least 12 metres, with changes to this being as gradual as possible. The width of the starting grid also needs to be a minimum of 15 metres, with
Also, das mit den ganzen Zahlen ist ganz interessant. Das habe ich noch gar nicht so wahrgenommen, wie es jetzt gerade erklärt wird. Ich dachte halt, das, was ich schon aufgezählt habe und noch ein paar Sachen mehr natürlich. Aber dass die, ja, also das habe ich nicht gewusst.
This being maintained through to the exit of the first corner to help avoid any first lap pile-ups. In terms of the actual starting grid, there are stricter rules. Yes, it gets even stricter. There should be at least 8 metres between grid boxes for Formula 1, with 6 metres needed for other series. It's also preferred that there's at least 250 metres between the start and the first corner. The gradient of the start-finish straight should also not exceed 2%. As for the first corner, that can only be a change of direction of at least 45 degrees with a radius of less than 300 metres.
Also, dass es so in irgendeiner Art eingeschränkt ist, hätte ich nicht gedacht.
My GCSE maths is really kicking in right now. Suppose a car does use the runoff in a crash or incident, there are several safety rules and regulations that need to be in place to absorb a car's energy and or provide conditions for the driver to regain control of their vehicle. This is all standard practice for a circuit, as well as making sure that the protection of spectators, race officials, service personnel and the drivers is of utmost importance. If you're hosting an event like F1, which sometimes can have an excess of 200,000 spectators in pre-pandemic times, you need to make sure there's enough space to accommodate the fans, in addition to the F1 circus itself. For the medical centre, there's got to be a team of doctors present who are trained in resuscitation and at least 2 surgeons, one who is experienced in concussion and spinal injuries.
Oh, ich habe schon wieder vergessen, Untertitel anzumachen. Heute ist irgendwie nicht mein Tag.
And the other who knows how to treat burns. There must be a good understanding of English, as well as a fully stocked medical kit, and all members of the medical team must be proficient in dealing with patients who have trauma. Capacity for timing rooms, race control, media centres and marshal posts all need to be considered too, plus the actual paddock and pit lane. The list honestly continues to go on.
Also, so eine lange Liste hätte man schon sich denken können, aber vorstellen kann man sich trotzdem sowas nicht so wirklich gut. Also zumindest nicht, wenn man sich damit noch nicht so wirklich beschäftigt hat.
Even things like bridges and tunnels for trucks or emergency vehicles need to be visualised in the planning stages of the circuit creation. Same for drainage solutions, as all of this can influence the layout of the track. We're not kidding when we say that the list of recommendations and necessities goes on for ages. Of course, when it comes to the health and safety of those on the ground, everything must be taken extremely seriously, as we all know how dangerous motorsport can be. Outside of the F1 calendar, what circuits are still Grade 1, I hear you ask? Well, venues like Estoril, Fuji Speedway, Korea and New Delhi all have Grade 1 licences that last a year or 2. Istanbul Park and Mugello are the same, and as a result made appearances on the modified 2020 F1 calendar. Surprisingly, circuits such as the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada and the Shanghai International Circuit in China have both failed to renew their Grade 1 licence. There's no need to panic, especially for me because I love the Shanghai International Circuit. Not only is the latest document almost 6 months old, but it's also possible for circuits to renew their FIA licences if they wish to. A licence is typically valid for 3 years from the date of the circuit's final inspection. There you have it, a detailed look into what it takes for a race circuit to be F1 ready. It's pretty complicated, isn't it? What do you make of all the rules? Let us know in the comment section below.
Ja, also auf jeden Fall ein interessantes Video. Sehr kompakt und wie immer. Und ich würde sagen, ich leite die Frage genauso an euch weiter. Und ja, dann würde ich auch schon sagen, war's das mit dem Video. Lasst gerne ein Like und ein Abo da. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao.